G'day, welcome to iCULTIVATE. My name's Steve and today I'm going to be giving you a tour around my chicken yard. Welcome to my chicken yard. When we first decided to have our lifestyle tweaks and introduce chickens to our garden, there were a number of things that I knew I wanted to do. The first being, of course, I wanted to have the chickens in such a way that it enabled them to get onto the veggie garden, but at the same time I had some control over which sections of the veggie garden and also which sections of our yard that I would like them to be able to get to. Because of that, my wife's actually thought of me as being a bit of the gate man, because I've got gates in numerous different places. And those gates enable me to direct the chickens to the areas that I want them to go to. But anyway, look, I'll take you on a bit of a tour now, and we're going to have a little bit of a look. This is my chicken house. It's about 2 metres square by about 1.8 metres high. It's the first chicken house I've built for this particular area. I would, if I had my time over, make it bigger and make it more accessible, but given the fact that it's what I've got, I'm still quite happy with it. There's a couple of things that I did to start off with that I wouldn't do again. The first thing is the door. I was thinking more about access for the chickens than I was for access for myself at the time, and I've since modified a little bit. But to start off with, I actually had the door only about this high. Now, of course, that made it very difficult for me when it came to cleaning it out. So only recently what I've done is I've extended the door up and made it much larger. The access for the chickens is actually a little bit smaller, but that's fine. There's plenty of room there for them. I've seen a lot smaller. But when the time comes for me to clean out, what I do is I just simply have to open up this particular section. And while I still need to crouch, at least I don't have to get down on my hands and knees to clean it out. So this is the chicken house. I currently keep 7 chickens in here, and or I should say in this area they have free range pretty much most of the time, but this is where they come home to roost at night. This is inside my chicken house. You can see I've got a number of roosts there. They tend to try and roost as high as they possibly can. Most of my chickens actually accumulate along that old tree branch that you can see that I've got extended from one side to the other. You can also see that one of my girls is actually in one of the laying boxes right at the moment, doing a little bit of nest maintenance. Anyway, I'll just leave her to attend to her business and not disturb her. Hopefully she'll leave a little present there for me in a minute. Right, to give you an overall perspective of my yard, I'll just give you a bit of a 360 degree view of this particular run. You can see, start with, that's the main entrance to the chicken run that comes from our outdoor living area. I don't tend to let the chickens out there too much. That's a bit of a formal area for us, and despite the shovel that you can see leaning up against the post, but I don't tend to let them out there so much because while they're all very well intended, their intentions are all very positive, they do tend to make a bit of a mess in some areas that we'd prefer they didn't out in that particular area. As we pan around here a little bit, you can see there I've got another gate. Now that particular gate extends out into the veggie patch, and I tend to use netting, bird netting, to direct exactly where I want them to go on my veggie patch. Because obviously if I've just planted some fresh seedlings, they don't tend to last very long when the chickens are out on those sorts of plants. You can see my Faverolles has become a little bit interested and maybe thinking about laying an egg. That would be unusual for my Faverolles. She's a very fussy young lady, that one. As we come around a little bit further, you can see beside my chicken house there, I've got an area which is a dry area. That area is where I tend to keep most of the feed, including shell grit and of course their water. And it's also where, when they are in this particular area, they engage in a bit of dust bathing. It's a dry area, it's under roof as you can see, and unless we've got severe weather, that area tends to stay dry most of the time. As I pan around a little bit further, you can see there's another gate. That gate enables me to direct the chooks out into our larger yard, and that in fact is where they tend to spend most of their time. I tend to open and close that gate across the day. Usually in the morning I'll open it up to allow them to free range around the yard most of the time, and then in the evening I will shut it. We don't want any predators or getting in, so that's the idea behind that. You can see that a few of my girls are finding their way in from having been out on the veggie garden. This is the nesting box from the outside, because obviously if I want to collect eggs, I don't want to be going inside the chicken house all the time. So what I have is the boxes situated so that they're accessible by the chickens on the inside, but I can just simply come out here, open up the lid and collect the eggs during the course of the day. Right, let's have a look inside the nesting box. Well, you can see one of my girls is actually in here, hopefully leaving me something behind in the not too distant future. But anyway, we won't disturb her for very long, but you can see that we've got plenty of nice dry nesting material in each of these boxes. Sometimes the chickens prefer to all use the same box, but that's not always the case. They will just simply choose the one that is their preference. This is the gate that enables me to give my chickens access to my vegetable patch. You can see that I've got netting in place that enables me to direct where I want my chickens to have access to, or more importantly, where I don't want them to have access to. If I pan back a little bit now, you can get a clearer picture of the sort of thing that I do. And you can see that this netting enables me to give the chickens flexible access to different areas. And at other times I will change this and give them access to different parts of the garden, depending upon what my garden needs are at the time. In this particular shot, you'll notice that above my chicken run, I have a mature custard apple tree growing. This particular tree provides my chickens with shelter from a number of things, including the hot summer sun in the middle of summer. Hopefully it gives them a nice cool retreat underneath that particular tree. And the other thing that it provides them protection with is from predators such as hawks and eagles. Over the years I've seen some fantastic setups for the keeping of chickens. Some of them are a lot better than what I have here, but the setup that I have here suits me really well. I hope that through watching this particular video you have been able to identify even just one or maybe two points that would be useful for you when it comes to establishing your own chicken house or keeping chickens in your own home. There is no doubt that they are very rewarding to keep. Not only do they provide fantastic fertiliser and manure for the garden, but of course we get those absolute gems on a daily basis, the eggs that they produce. So once again, thank you for watching this video. Please leave your comments on YouTube, and perhaps you could even visit our website iCULTIVATE.net. So thank you once again for watching.